My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
The crisp air is wafting in over the hills or the plains, wherever you might be, which means that in North America anyway, fall is on its way in the northern hemisphere. So we are, gearing up for the spooky season, the sweater season, some pumpkin spice in our future. You know how this be. We're going to talk about a rapper today, known by the stage name ph-1. But before we do that, we're going to talk about some fall music and what we like to listen to when the summer, the last dying strains of summer come into the robust chords of fall, as it were. I don't know where I'm going with this. So we're going to talk about fall music.
I was curious where it was going.
We're just letting it happen.
I started, and then I was like, oh no, you haven't ended this. Like, you only had a start point in mind. Where are you going? And even I didn't know. I never know. Anyway, fall music, yeah.
I know for me, when I think of what a fall song would entail, in my opinion, I think kind of coffee shop vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can start being, a little bit more ballad. When I say warm, not like summer hot, but like warm tones. And then definitely when you're thinking, since I think of music videos quite often, if there's a lot of brown in the music video, because I was realizing as I was looking at the songs that make me think of it, if there's brown in that music video, I'm thinking it's a fall song. So for me, like an example that probably is not necessarily across the board, 100 Ways to me seems like a fall song, just because there's
I
a heck
actually
of a lot
agree.
of brown.
I was thinking of that as well.
Yeah.
But the one that I always think of is Universe by EXO. It's got that sort of sad coffee shop vibe. Literally, when you watch the music video, they're either making coffee or like getting tied to chairs. So pick a vibe,
Yeah, there's just something like nice about like when the song kind of is warm and cozy like a sweater almost. And I don't know how to put it in words. There's a distinction between like the warm and cozy sweater and like a blanket.
Yeah.
Like blanket to me is Christmassy, kind of like the coffee and apple cider sweater lends to more ballady things. And like for me, it's like the comforting voices.
It's like a song that would be the soundtrack for apple picking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a nice hayride or something.
Yeah, or just like kind of like
pumpkin.
Hanging out. I don't know, like I feel like Nell, like almost all of Nell kind of fits that vibe for me, even if the songs, because they do have songs that are like specifically about certain things that would not be fall, but like just the way that they sing and the way that they kind of like produce their songs, it's very like comforting. And I guess that also kind of ties into like being kind of like a chiller, more guitar driven, as opposed to having like the drums being kind of like the forefront of like bringing the beat. So like something like 4 Times Around the Sun is a good one, and that one's good too also because it kind of just ties into a thing that like fall for me means like the time that you can go comfortably camp. The weather is nicer. It's like not everywhere, but like it just seems like it's a little bit nicer and it's a little bit easier to deal with. It's not like so much heat, and then also it gets cold at night, so you want to be by the campfire. And that has like that element in the music video itself too.
I think Acmu, so not the upbeat Acmu, because you have the really playful side of Acmu.
Yeah,
so not that half, but the other half of Acmu.
Swarmy type, like
when you just it's like fluid and like you just your head bobbing,
you're
head
fluid.
swaying.
It's like you're fluid like a leaf in the wind, or getting crunched on. That's the sadness. Getting crunched on is like the underlying sadness that
Yeah, I was thinking like for me there's like an underlying tone of like melancholy almost to it. Like it can still be a fairly happy song, but like I don't know. There's just got to be that sort of undertone of, oh, the summer's over. It's sad. I was thinking like 100 Ways kind of fits that. It's kind of a melancholy vibe almost, but it's also a dance song, like a melancholy dance tune, which is a little weird, but like happens sometimes. Actually, the first song that I thought of when you mentioned the idea for this, the first song that popped into my head was Colors by Stella Jang, just because around here, fall means the leaves are changing, right? So it's different colors. Like the song's not really those colors, but like still.
No, we can still tie it to it.
Also, her voice, like,
yes,
kind of across the board. I'm not saying every single one of her songs would lend to it. So, for instance, there's a song that she has called Villain, and it's very different from Colors. But I could still plug that right into Autumn, and it would, because of the way her voice sounds, it kind of fits to me.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. There's also the other side of fall, of course. You get the spooky stuff.
That's true.
I like the spooky stuff too. You got, Voodoo Doll.
Or then there's songs like, so Ace's new title track, Favorite Boys or Goblin. It has, in the background of the song, it has a little spooky kind of jingle to it, really.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah, or you could like go with like a song that is entirely not Halloween, but no one who listens to it that has watched the music video can ever say that it's not a Halloween song twice.
Yeah.
Because it's just a zombie music video, but they're happily dancing. But it's still will only be a Halloween song for me.
It's like the fun Halloween song. See, there's fun Halloween and spooky Halloween.
Well, there is, but if you never saw that music video before, you'd be like, this is not a Halloween song at all.
No.
Maybe that's Chinese Married to the Music.
That's what I thought
you
were going to say, yeah.
Because, of course, everyone's like, Halloween song. But if you have never seen that music video, you would just be like, why are you guys saying it's
I think that's one of the things, because I'm pretty sure that it came out during the summer as a tie-in to the summer horror type thing.
That Behind Your Smile OST by Shishi and Matsuka had that really dark, I don't know. That whole drama had kind of a melancholy feel to it, and so did the soundtrack.
I mean, if you're gonna go Halloween, there's this little group called Dreamcatcher.
They have a bit of a concept that
just a tiny bit,
well,
a little bit.
And I think it would actually work really well for Halloween.
I don't know if they've thought of this, but I feel like a lot of their music led well to the Halloween vibe.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't know, maybe go listen to all their music and then tell us your feelings about it.
In case you're not down, we're being facetious. We're joking.
We're being very facetious. We have a whole Dreamcatcher episode.
Yes.
If you haven't checked it out, go check it out.
We also have an episode about Halloween-themed music videos.
Oh, that's
way back.
Okay, way back when we had our different things that we used to do. Because if you haven't been listening to us from the very beginning, we used to do a corner where each of us would take a corner, and Sky's corner was music videos, and then we tied that into an episode where we were
picking
the best spooky music video.
That was a fun episode though.
Which
it helps listen to it.
It helps when it's a theme like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for instance, I don't know, even our Modern Monarchies episode, I was still doing that and it worked. It was fine.
It's a little bit harder because you have to do a little bit more.
Yeah. But a lot of our other themes, it's just a lot harder to do.
Because thank God we're not doing that still.
Yeah. I'm thinking about all of the things that, for instance, 100 or whatever. I'm like, oh, no, that's okay.
100 music videos.
You can literally just find 100 in the title or in the
100
lyrics.
There, you're done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If you have any songs that you think are very fall-y or autumnal, let us know.
Yeah, tweet at us, man. We love listening to new stuff.
And I know for me, when I was trying to think of what reminds me of fall-y stuff. I had a playlist already going. It was at the beginning of the pandemic when I needed some comfort, and it was the songs that were kind of new to me at the time, but the ones that were giving me those vibes. And so yeah, half of them kind of fell under the, in my brain, autumn feel.
Yeah, they do. Like, especially the ones that are kind of a little melancholy.
The ones that kind of vaguely discuss the times that we live in.
Yeah.
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 I mean, because you could even do like something like Zombie from Day 6 would work, or like Holo from Knee High, like those type of kind of like, if they're soothing, that's what it is. Even though they're talking about like what's going on, they're very soothing, and so I guess that like kind of translates to what we were talking about.
It's because like
sweater.
It like helps. Those sorts of songs are soothing because it demonstrates that it's like you're not the only one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Experiencing this reality, even though it feels like that sometimes. So, fall is fun though, guys.
It is fun. I like fall.
It's my favorite. Fall's my favorite.
Well,
mine is
should be
summer.
obvious that it is.
Me too.
My favorite's on its way out, but that's okay. I got some big chunky sweaters. Yeah, I got leg warmers. I'm ready.
Well, I'm just ready to be able to sit outside and not like hate life.
Jesse mentioning the camping thing. Fall is when I usually go camping too, and since that's probably not going to be on the agenda. Yeah.
So sad, like especially because last year, like a group of us at work went camping, and then we were like, yes, we're gonna have a camping club, and we were like super stoked about it. We were gonna like keep it up and like, you know, do more with it, especially after like winter had happened and after like our busiest parts of work. And then this happened, and all I can think about is like how much I want to go camping. And I'm like, oh man, I wish our little camping group could go camping. That would be nice right now.
Yeah.
Good distraction.
Campgrounds were like one of the first things that opened marginally back up here. So there was like a run on camping in the summer this summer. Like our campground where our trailer is parked was full every weekend. It was people I know who've like not been camping in years were buying tents and deciding to go camping because it was literally the only kind of vacation you could do this summer was you could go camping somewhere, so you could still socially distance, right? Like, you're just on your campground, your campsite, but you're still by yourself, but like somewhere different. You're not at home anymore, so camping was a big deal here this summer.
There's not so much a run on camping where I'm at. People just really want to drink and sing karaoke, which has had it hasn't been great. They keep reopening the bars, then COVID just goes nuts, and then they close all the bars. Nope. So they just closed all the karaoke bars again. They've just put in like a new like color system for like, oh, if we're on yellow stuff, then blah, blah, I don't even know. I don't leave my house anyway, so
is it green? Really is it green, red, and yellow, or is it like other colors?
No, it's not. It's like white, yellow, orange, and red.
Okay.
So it's like white is like you're fine, like COVID is over. Well, that's what white means. I think we're in orange right now. Orange is like we're closing shit because y'all can't know how to act.
Come on. Children, wear your mask.
No, and it's like, and I keep thinking, like, they just put in fines for people not wearing masks, so.
Here, a big thing for fall is always college football, and what comes with that is tailgating all around the campus, and they usually trash the place pretty bad. So they're still going to have football games. I think there's probably some restrictions on the amount of people or something. No more tailgating, though, supposedly. So we'll see about that. I don't think, they can only dictate that around the stadium. I think people will still probably do whatever the heck they want, but whatever.
Yeah, here we're college basketball, so it was a rough go because of March Madness.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a hit. Like, football is like, here, but it's really college basketball is
the thing.
College sports they aren't a thing here.
Nope.
College sports
Well,
are not
it
a thing.
depends on the state here. Like, there are
Yeah.
states that don't care about the college, like, unless it's, like, a personal thing, and then focus more on the, like, professional sports. But then there are places like Kentucky that just really love the college basketball.
I'm like really interested to see what happens in the winter because of hockey. Because I live in Montreal, where the Habs, otherwise known as the Canadiens, are. And literally every year there are multiple, like, you know how in Europe they have, like, soccer riots? They have hockey riots in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
I didn't know.
A cop car gets set on fire at least once a year. Like,
That
I didn't
happens with
know
college
that.
basketball here, too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, like, curious to see,
College
What's gonna go
football
down
is
there?
usually just like, we're going to tear down the goalposts. That's,
See, that seems like really contained to just the football stadium itself.
yeah, definitely where I grew up, it was just like, oh, we're going to tear down the goalposts. Yay. Like, that was the extent of it.
And it's like the Bell Center where the hockey is played, where the sports ball is done. Is like really close to downtown and all the bars and everything, so it's usually like a huge mess. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting to think of those things that, like, prior to the times we're in, it wasn't a very good recommended thing to do in the first place to have riots and set cars on fire.
Yeah.
But now,
it's like, okay, are they still going to ignore the fact that that's still not a good thing to do? Or is it, like, forget, I don't know. There's two ways that could go.
Yeah, it's like, well, they didn't, care about the public well-being when they did it the first time.
Right,
So.
that's kind of like, aren't those usually the types of people that kind of don't care? So, yeah, it might continue. But they might wear masks. They might care, kind of.
Yeah, they might care about themselves a little bit more at that point.
We'll see. I don't know, man. Ay. Fall is such a fun time, isn't it?
Well, that's actually one thing to look forward to. It getting cooler is wearing masks will hopefully not be quite as hot.
Oh, yeah.
Might not fog up my glasses quite the same way.
Right. Instead, you'll have the whole, like, going from a hot house to outside being cold, and you'll have that, like...
It'll just fog up at a different time now.
Yeah. It's like a normal fog up.
Yeah.
In Montreal, like, it's when it gets cold out and you have to wear jackets, as soon as you get into the metro, it's, like, really hot in the metro. So it's like, you're always in this state of, do I keep my jacket on or do I need to take my jacket off? Like, what level of jacket do I want to bring? How long will I be in the metro? Like, how long will I be out? It's like a whole calculation.
Well, that's how it is kind of in Florida, where it's just like, you go into buildings and they're like, really, really super cold, the AC's pumping, and then as soon as you walk outside, it's like a wall of humidity and heat. Or like if you're in your car and then step outside, it's just always a mess.
What September's always a pain in the butt for sending the kids off to school, because in the morning it's still chilly, right? Like, it got cold overnight, it's still chilly. I'm like, you gotta wear a jacket, and then by the time they're coming home, they're like, if I made them wear pants and a jacket in the morning, they've got the jacket tied around their waist and they've rolled their pants up over their knees because they've been so hot all afternoon, because by noon it was like 20 degrees out, and you're like, but when they left the house it was 5, so like, you need to wear a coat. Like, and then they yell at me when they come home. They're like, it was hot all day, and I'm like, well, it wasn't hot when you left the house. Like, I have to be a good parent. They're gonna call me and be like, why didn't you put a coat on your kid?
Well, it's good that they don't leave the coat inherently at school, because, like, that, I would think that since it got hot, like, well, I forgot it, I left it, in my locker or whatever.
Well, that was totally like, they all came home for March break and then never went back to school. It was the longest March break of our lives.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we weren't allowed back in the schools even until, like, it was May or June before they let us go back into the schools to get stuff. So it was like, you're walking through the hall going, that's my coat. Those are my mittens. Like I took like grocery bags and was like dumping stuff that they left.
It's like, I hate to be the parent who finds out that their kid forgot a lunchbox half full of food in the locker. Like, was that you?
Yeah.
Oh,
my goodness. There were things that did not come home in May and June. They set garbage bags all along the hallways in the schools, and they were like, we know some of this stuff you are just not taking home. My daughter threw out, like, some of my Tupperware because she had the last day of school not eaten her lunch, not eaten her sandwich, and then forgot it in her locker. Yep. And when she went to school to pick her stuff up, she was just like, she looked at that, and it was like a clear container, and it was solid green, and she was like, I am not taking that home. Mom is going to
that's its own life form now. Yeah. You have to abandon ship on that.
That's just, she's like, Mom, I will pay you the $2. I will buy you the food, like, Rubbermaid, whatever. And I was like, that's fine. We're good.
You're like, I would have thrown it out too, so don't worry. Yeah. Oh boy.
On to ph-1.
On to ph-1. Take it away, Amanda. If you're wondering why Amanda's taking it away, it's because it was her birthday this month. Yay! And on our birthday months, we all get to pick who we talk about. So she picked ph-1.
Who I did not pick last year because I was like, no, I talk about him all the time, so I should choose somebody else. And this year I was like, you know what? Screw it. You guys can all listen to me talk about him some more. So, ph-1. Here we go. For starters, he's a rapper. He was born in Korea, lived in Korea until he was like 12, moved to America with his family, lived here. I'm in Canada, but you know what I mean. Until in his 20s, he went to Boston College with Eric Nam. They're bros. He was on Eric's podcast, and they chatted about their school days and stuff. You can check that out. It was amusing. I think it was Eric's like, how come we never hang out? And yeah. No, actually it was ph-1. He's like, we never hang out. Now that I'm in Korea, we never hang out. And Eric's like, because you got a crew and you never like call me. Like it's yeah.
Bro problems.
Yeah. So the name ph-1, his rapper name, it is really when I first saw it, I would see PH and I thought like PH, makes the f sound in English, right? And then 1, so I was like 1. Fun. It's like, it's cute, right? Like it was a cute. No. I mean, lots of rappers have rapper names. ph-1, obviously this is not his given name. This is not the name his parents gave him at birth.
Like, our little ph-1.
They were not like, he did not come out and they said, he's going to be a rapper one day. Let's give him an appropriate name. No, they wanted him to be a doctor. Surprise, surprise. That's what he went to Boston College for. He science-y stuff, and he left college and was like a dental hygienist while he was studying to get into dentist school. And then one day went, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I would like to not do this. So his family name is Park, so that's where the P comes from. His English name, when he moved to America, the English name that he chose or his family chose for him, or however that worked, was Harry. So his friends call him Harry. That's what his name is Harry. His fans often call him Harry. He had an album that he called Harry. So it's Park, Harry, dash, and then the number 1, which his Korean name is Junwon, and Won. So basically his rapper name is his name. It's a combination of his
name. Yes.
Like all of his names, he put it together into a rapper name. So.
Well, kind of like G-Dragon. I mean, that's how G-Dragon is.
True.
Exactly. So I was trying to think today, like, if I went by that way, like, what would my rapper name be? And I'm like, so, like, last name initial, so, like, H, and then nickname T, HT, and then I don't know what, like,
You don't have a number that represents.
No, I don't.
Like, favorite number?
I mean, maybe 5. Like, I'd go with 5 because that's my, like, birth date, and it's kind of my favorite number. It was my derby number, so, like, HT5. But then that sounds like, I don't know, like Hot 5 or something. I guess that works as a rapper name.
I've picked a rapper name.
Have you?
You know, haven't we all picked a rapper name?
Well,
I can tell you, I have not picked a rapper name before.
Well, anyway, my rap name is MC Triple D. I see the realization all coming to your faces as to why that is my rap name.
Yeah,
because it's my cup size. Big old
figure that out.
You know.
Do you have a rap name, Jesse?
I don't have a rap name, but in college we used to be the room that played the most music, so I was a DJ Jesse Jess. Like, literally to this day, people still call me that.
Yeah, that counts, man. It's your stage name.
It's my stage name.
My main nickname in college was Red, I think, just because of my red hair. I know it's really inventive, but it's handy.
Hey, yeah. I mean,
but so like the whole Sleepy and Loopy and Doc and whoever else all the rappers
Exactly. So, yeah, so ph-1 moved back to Korea. He was posting stuff on his Instagram, posting rap stuff on his Instagram, and one day Jay Park actually messaged him and was like, hey, I'm going to be in New York doing a concert. You should come to my concert. And he's like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, my God. But, like, you know, I don't have a ticket to the concert, and it's sold out, so, like, guess not. And then he didn't go, and Jay Park was like, messaged him again and was like, why didn't you come to the concert? He's like, I didn't have a ticket. He's like, I asked you to come to the concert. I would have given you a ticket.
Like, it's implied that when the performer says, come to my concert, the ticket will be provided for you.
So he was I guess he kind of figured if Jay Park thought he had some talent, that maybe he had a shot. So he headed back over to Korea to give it a go. But he is inherently a homebody. He does not he literally has songs about being a homebody and hanging out at home, and his songs are like nerdy love, and like he's just a nerd, and he loves to be a nerd and to be at home and to do his thing. So meeting people was difficult for him, but then he was like, hey, Jay, you know people. Introduce me to people. So
it's one of those things where it's like introverts don't make friends and extrovert adopts them and forces them to have friends.
Exactly.
That sort of vibe.
Yeah, and if you watch any of the like AOMG and Higher Gang stuff, there's very much that vibe. Like recently somebody was posting pictures from a thing that they did, and like everybody else in the crew was like all really into the pictures, and ph-1 is sort of standing at the side like an awkward uncle, like throwing up a V, like I'm here, I'm in the picture, like. But everybody seems to like him. He's just a chill dude. Like, he's very relaxed and very nice, and he was like, I always thought that he signed with Jay Park's label and then like moved over to Korea, but I guess he moved to Korea and then Jay started his label and signed him to it. So he's been there for a while.
When did the Show Me the Money stuff happen?
That was it last year or the year before? I want to say 2018. It was season 7, so it's Show Me the Money 777 is the season that he's in.
So he was already signed?
He was already signed. So it was one of those things where he went on it to like boost his name, and I think it really worked for him, because having sort of gotten in on the fandom on the ground level, as it were, like I was a fan before Ish, the main album, came out. I have seen like the number of like follows on Twitter has skyrocketed, and he has a lot more. It used to be like 20 or 30 interactions on a tweet, and now it's like a couple hundred, 1,000, comments. Like, he's definitely has a bigger fan base now. So, which is sort of like a mixed blessing. Like, I'm happy for him that he's doing well, but like, when your favorite is unpopular, they're more likely to interact with you.
Oh, yeah.
And then once they're popular, you're like, oh, now I'm just one of the crowd.
One of many.
Yeah, fine. But he was kind of, one of the things for me was that I was following Jay Park. I kind of thought I liked Jay Park. I like a few of his songs. And that song Iffy came out with CK and Jay Park and ph-1. And I was like, I love that song. I mean, that was a big deal in Korea at the time and stuff. Everybody was doing the little iffy, yeah, doing the little dance and stuff. And you know how they release a song before the album comes out? ph-1 had a mini album coming out with like 5 or 6 songs. And the first song he released off of it was Donut, which was a collaboration with Jay Park. So again, I heard it because Jay Park was on it, and I was following Jay Park. And I really liked that song. And then I can't remember why or how it came to me, but all of a sudden I had this epiphany, and I was like, maybe you don't like Jay Park. Maybe you like ph-1. Maybe that's the common denominator, not the Jay Park. So I was like, well, maybe I should check the rest of his stuff. And it was like right around then the album came out, and I loved it. Like, I was just like, oh, I love every single song. Oh, yeah, maybe I like ph-1. So turns out, yes, I like ph-1. I like ph-1 a lot. That's not to say anything against Jay Park. It's just different styles. He's
different strokes for different folks,
Exactly. His songs tend to have a more upbeat aspect. He does have ph-1 has songs that have a more depressed, because he goes through that too. Like, he goes through depressed phases and things like that, and so some songs reflect that. But I mean, like, my favorite song is Perfect, and it is upbeat and cheery and enjoyable, and I like that. I love his collaborations. He does so many collaborations. I mean, a month ago, I started a playlist called, like, featuring ph-1, and it's all of the collaborations that he does on other people's stuff. And I, like, even this week, I had to add a bunch more songs to it because there was a bunch more stuff came out because the Red Tape album for Hire label came out. There's just so much. I've found so many new voices through his collaborations with people that I'd never heard of before, and now they're some of my favorite singers, like Marshall and Soleil and Libata. Like, I never even heard of her before, and then I was going through back catalog of, like, you can search on Spotify for other songs that they've featured on or whatever, and I just went through a whole ton of them and hit the Libata, and I was like, ooh, okay, who's that? Like, I need to hear more of that. So I really like that. I don't know. I really like his style. I like the style of his music. I like his personality. He just seems like somebody that I would enjoy hanging out with. That first album that came out, the first song on it was called Christ, and his faith is really important to him, which, I relate to. And one of the other songs is Game Night, and it's like about playing video games. Like, I don't know, it also might be like just a euphemism for, sex or something, but like, it's a clever one if it is. It's very, just sounds like a song
He
about
doesn't
playing
really
video games.
seem all that edgy. I mean,
No.
No.
I feel bad sometimes because when you see him in interviews, he talks about not the last album, but the album before that. When it came out, one of the songs that he said he really, really liked was Malibu, which wasn't my favorite song off of the album, but that's one of the songs he really liked because he said it showed a different side of him, and he thought it showed people that he had a sexy side because he didn't think people thought he was sexy. And I was like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I need you to understand that there are different kinds of sexy in the world, and not all sexy is shirt off, grinding, that's not the only thing women find sexy. We also find men who are talking about commitment and puppies sexy. So, you
I
also...
remember a couple of years ago, there was, a calendar that came out that was, it was called, Porn for Women or something, and it was just images of, men, vacuuming and, men holding puppies.
Right? And I feel like he kind of embodies that sort of, boy next door sexy. Like that, he just seems like somebody you would really enjoy hanging out with. And, I mean, probably marry. He's not the guy you bang after a concert. He's the guy you, take home to your parents and then marry and live happily ever after kind of guy, which... Some of us find that very sexy. Some of us marry that, that's the choices we make. So,
Listen,
ph-1, I know you're listening. We like that.
I'm gonna be honest to all the ladies out there. Yes, a nice body and a bad boy attitude is fun in theory, but what's gonna keep you warm on a nice cold night? Someone who can snuggle. I'm just...
Exactly. I was joking with one of my mutuals on Twitter about one of the songs that came out. I can't remember. I think it was for the Red Tape album. And the video, basically all the guys in the video are shirtless. They're just all shirtless, dancing around, shirtless. And I mean, most of them are 12. They're it's the new young crew at Higher. And the song's good and it's all fine. But ph-1 was promoting it on his Insta and his Twitter and stuff, and he's like, oh, hot sexy buds, go look at the naked buds. I mean, my friend were joking about, but he's probably wearing a sweater while he tweets this, because that's not his... Shirtlessness is not his thing, but that's all right, because I'm listening to the music, so, which I like.
So your all-time favorite is Perfect?
All-time favorite, Perfect. Christ, heavy second, because I just really dig that. I dig that song. And probably my favorite collab is hard to choose, but probably Saran. Don't Hang Up is probably my favorite one. Although I also really, really enjoy Come Over with Marshall. Mm-hmm. It's hard to choose. I don't know how you guys do it sometimes, on your birthday months. How do you pick one? It's hard.
Well, if it's a fave, you just kind of blindfold and pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, my songs, when I pick them, they just happen. I can't tell you in words how it's my favorite, It just is. Yeah. Sometimes it changes, too.
That's true.
And Amanda, you're a heavy proponent of him collaborating with women, right? That was always your thing, correct?
Yes. Collaborate with women. I'm so excited about Lehigh being basically on his label now, and I'm please,
yeah.
God.
Didn't I read this morning? No, never mind. That was P Nation. Moving on. Ignore me.
Oh yeah.
Hayes joined P Nation. I was like, wait a second. Then I realized the other one. The other one.
The other cool label.
Yeah, the other one.
I don't always enjoy every song that he puts out, but he tries to get creative and to do a variety of styles, and he collaborates on stuff that is not usually his usual style. So like he's on a number of the albums from Red Tape, or a number of the tracks from Red Tape, and they're not what I would think of as ph-1 tracks. They pretty much everything has an E on it for explicit, which means I'm, listening to it after the kids go to school. And again, some of the songs speak to me more than others. Some are better than others, in my opinion. But like his track, like his lines that he puts down on the track are usually not the lines with the big, the heavy swearing. He's not into misogyny that often comes with, sometimes a lot of rap is sex and swearing, and that's cool if that's what you're into, but that's not really what I'm into. So it can turn me off of a singer, but I like that he does collaborate on songs that are like that, but then that the tracks that he's laying down are not those tracks. Like he's not the one swearing in the song or objectifying women's bodies, or like it's kind of nice and just comfortable. I can enjoy his flow and not worry about what message I'm gonna like have suddenly pop up where I'm like, oh really, did we have to go there today? Like, is that because he doesn't go there, and it's nice, and I like that about him. So
he seems like a chill dude.
He does. Yeah.
I just think it really like actually describes him purely, especially when he was talking about it on Eric Nam's little podcast thing. The type of person he is literally the interaction he had with Jay Park about not wanting to get a ticket, even though
yeah,
it was like obvious, like Jay Park went and found your Instagram and messaged you, and you still were like, well, I guess I'm not going to the sold out thing. Come on.
Like, I really enjoyed the video, the tattoo video, because that boy has some ugly tattoos, but he loves every single one of them. He's like, yeah, my friend got drunk and tattooed this on me, and I had to get it fixed. But
but he's like very like
kind of wonky.
My friend did it, so that's very sweet of him.
Well, that video, I always wondered about, he has love tattooed like right across his like Adam's apple, and I was kind of wondered about that one, like what the deal was there. And so I liked that in that video he says it's to remind himself that he only wants words of love to come out of his mouth. He only wants things that are uplifting and pleasant, and so when he's tempted to go the path for rap that, often it's more the dark stuff or the, the sex, the violence, the whatever that sells, and he doesn't go the diss track route. Like, if you watch the video of Show Me the Money, one of the things that they did was like one of the competitions, because it's a rap competition, so they had to do like a diss track or like a rap battle diss thing, and he's like being nice, like it's like he's like trying to be mean, but it's like too nice, and then the other kid just shreds him, and it's so mean, and you're like, don't be so mean to my baby, like he was nice to you. And it seems like he just doesn't have it in him to do it, which is nice.
So shall we talk about favorite songs when we were listening?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I kind of, blew out my like dozen of favorite songs. What about you guys?
I like, in terms of collabs, I like Nerdy Love, and then also he had a collab with Chungha at the beginning of this year. I think it's called Friend. I really like that. I really like Chungha too, so that probably played into it. But out of the other songs, I really liked Cupid.
Yes, I like that one too.
For me, I really liked, there was one particular, the X album. I was really feeling it, and there were 2 songs on there that I really enjoyed. They were both collabs. One was Okay with Simon Dominic and Mush Venom. Really liked that one, and I love Simon Dominic, so it like.
Me too.
And the other one I really liked was Morago with Blaze and Coogie. I don't know why I just put like a French accent on that.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really liked those 2. I liked their vibes.
I liked the song All Right. Really chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, Communicate, that spoke to my soul as a communication person. No, I really did enjoy it. And then collab-wise, I liked Blue Champagne with Cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese is good. He does pick good collabs. Like,
He really does. Like, creative ones. A few of the ones that have surprised me were he's done, like, almost like religious music collabs. Like, Sam Ock is kind of known for his more, like, almost like worship music kind of thing, and he's done collabs with him, and then he did a collaboration with Bumkey, who I adore. Bumkey from I've liked him for a couple years with his music is more like dance music and stuff, but then the 2 of them did kind of basically a worship song together, and I was like, all right, okay, I really dig this, but I wasn't expecting it, but this is very enjoyable. It just, yeah. But then flip side, like, I discovered Marshall because he did a collaboration with Marshall, and Marshall's a very out, gay, LGBTQ, in that community. And sometimes you don't really think of people who are Christians or religious as being, like willing to make that kind of a collaboration. And so that, to me, speaks to the kind of person he is, that he's just a very open, loving, chill person who kind of gets along with everybody, seems to get along with everybody. He's got very a Jushy kind of uncle vibes to him. Which
He does. He really does.
But it works for him. His little bucket hats and the one video I was watching, and it was like when he was coming out with like his concert merch, and he is like very like, ooh, I really like this sweatshirt. It's like, it looks like it would be cozy, and like it's just very.
Well, even in his interviews, he's very soft-spoken and quiet, and like he's like, yeah, he's very like appreciative of like the person near him. And you're like, oh, you're very cute.
When he was on Fun with Dumbfounded, and yeah, he was just, it was kind of like, you could almost see like Dumbfounded is like trying to pull him out, but he was on with somebody else, and the other guy was very talkative and very, very outgoing, and then it was like, right, we're interviewing Harry, like, so you answer a question now, like, and like they were making fun of each other, and Harry's laughing kind of in the corner, like he's trying not to laugh out loud at the jokes because he doesn't want to be rude or something. Like, he just seems really nice. He seems like somebody you would hang out with, that you could just totally hang out with, just, have a beer and play some video games and chill out.
At his house.
At his house.
Yeah, at his house. Home Alone, lights out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Listen, it's the way to be, man. It's the way to be.
It's true. He's,
He knows how to live his life. And he's got the cutest little dog.
He seems like a guy who'd have a cute little dog.
He does have a cute little dog. It's so cute. One of the videos I remember watching on YouTube was him, and I cannot remember her name right now, but she's got a similar, maybe even same breed dog, and they're friends, and the 2 of them like went out and like went to one of those like puppy cafes where the dogs are allowed to run
he's totally a dog park. Dog will have more friends than him type vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly the vibe of that video. Is like, I could have been at home like sleeping and chilling out, but like my dog deserves this play date, so I'm actually going to go out today. Like,
it looks like his dog's name is Holly.
Yes, Holly and Harry.
Oh.
Of course.
he puts little shirts and stuff on her. That's pretty
yes.
cute.
Holly
little hoodies.
Holly has their own Instagram. Even he started his own little Instagram just for Holly, which his personal Instagram got a lot more boring once Holly got her own Instagram, because there's less dogs on the Instagram now. His Instagram used to be much more personal, but it feels like since Show Me the Money and he became more popular, it feels like his Instagram is a little more like business focused now, so it's a little less.
That's why he made the dog Instagram.
Exactly.
So, because his personal life is the dog. I get it.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder sometimes, like, watching him interact with people and stuff. I think he enjoys, like, he appreciates Jay Park and the way that Jay Park, like, introduced him to people and signing him to his label and stuff. But I sometimes feel like when stuff like Red Tape comes out, he feels a little out of place on that label. Like, and then he's, like, doing stuff with Eric Nam and stuff, and I'm like, put him over there. He could hang out with that crew. Like, that feels more his speed,
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as he's happy and he's making the music he wants to make, then
what more can you ask for in life?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Doing what you love to do and getting paid for it.
Hey, he bought his parents fancy watches with his, first big paycheck from his music. Yeah.
I think that's a cool cultural thing as far as buying the parents gifts on your first big paycheck that you get from your job.
I just got a job, and I tried to convince her that, like, that was a thing she should do with her paycheck, but she wasn't buying it, so.
Like, I like, get it in theory, but, like, what if your parents are real dicks?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't meaning that. I was meaning, like, if you do want to show appreciation to your parents. Just, like, a lot of their very familial-based holidays, sometimes in theory it's like, oh, that's sweet, but then when you realize, like, oh, the daughter-in-law is the one that slaves in the kitchen all day or whatever, it's like, okay, that's not cute anymore. Like, no, that shouldn't be a thing.
It's changing, though. So.
Yeah. So anything else about ph-1?
Trying to think.
Oh, how about this for a question? If someone hasn't listened to any of his stuff, what would you start someone off with? Or even, like, music video wise, is one of the music videos, just how would you introduce?
Okay, perhaps it is a bias of mine, but I would say Perfect, because the video is, like, kind of an animated thing. It's Legos. It's like Lego ph-1 doing, which just feels very him somehow. So I feel like Perfect gives you a really good picture of who he is and his style musically and video wise, his level of just cheesy fun.
Cool.
So probably,
I would say out of all the interviews that I watched of him, and I watched a lot of them, the Eric Nam one I think is the best one in terms of how you could tell just based on how he was comfortable. Like, not to say that the other interviews were, like, bad. It's just you could tell, like, personality-wise and comfort level-wise in terms of, like, introvertedness.
Yeah.
Eric Nam's was a little bit better, and I think they just kind of matched their level a little bit more, which I guess just comes in just general that, like, he's in a field where everybody else will be at a certain level that he's not, and so he kind of got to be in a spot where
he probably helps that he negotiate the whole stranger thing, like,
exactly, right? Like,
in an interview.
It was weird to, like, see them talking in that interview, and they're like, "Yeah, man, I haven't really seen you much since college," and you're like, "You guys went to college together? Like, that's weird and random, but okay, cool." So.
And Eric Nam is also a nerd, so
exactly, like I just
the level
very much could see, like, ph-1 hanging out with, like, Eric and his brothers, and they're, like, playing video games, and I could very much see them, like, doing, like, Dance Dance Revolution or something poorly, but, like, really enjoying themselves. Like,
I think the good thing about Eric Nam is how he can match people's level of tension.
Yeah,
That's
during
true.
his interview.
Yeah,
So
he's actually a really good interview.
If someone is a higher tension person, he can definitely go there because like.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, because Eric Nam is definitely. I wouldn't consider Eric Nam like introverted. I think he's kind of like a neutral, if anything, but like he definitely is able to kind of match what he like where he is and who he's interviewing. So he's good at that, kind of molding into whatever he needs to be to kind of help, which is a really great sign for an interviewer because that in turn makes the person that is being interviewed feel more comfortable and safe, which is a really good thing.
I agree. I think one of the like most ph-1 anecdotes that I saw that like just seems to sum him up in a sense in a person was when I was watching the Fun with Dumb interview. In the comments below it was somebody who was like, he's a rapper. I had no idea. He used to date a girl from my church. Well, good for him. I was like, yep, that feels like that sums up his personality in that show.
You never know. You'll be like, what? Wait?
Okay, cool.
If someone were like face to face with you and like told you that, it would be like, you're joking, right? Like it would be you're kidding.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, like seriously, here's a clip of him rapping or whatever. It's like, oh, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, he has a neck tattoo now.
Well, in that I think it was in the Eric Nam video, and he's like, when I go home, my mom's like, you should go talk to the youth group at church, like, and tell them about following their dreams. And he's like, Ma, I got tattoos. Like, can I go to church? Like, are they going to be okay with that? Do they want me influencing their children? Like, it's fine. It's fine.
He seems like a good dude.
He does.
Well, this has been another episode of Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment. We laughed. We cried. I'm kidding. We just had a good time. You can listen to us. Thank you for listening to us. And if you want to mix it up where you're listening to us, we are on Spotify. We are on Apple iTunes. We are on Google Podcasts. We are on Podbean. We are on Stitcher. We are on YouTube. And, of course, all our episodes can be found on our website, CertifiedNoonas.com. If you want to become a sponsor, an official sponsor of this podcast, a sugar mama to the sugar baby of this podcast, as it were, you can go to ko-fi.com/CertifiedNoonas to become one of the certified fam clan who just, supports us in all of this nonsense that we get up to and who we really appreciate so much. They know we love them because we say it every week, but we do. So anyway, I hope that you're all out there staying safe, wearing masks, washing your hands, sanitizing everything, and, just doing the best you can. And we're here for you. You can find us on social media. We are on all the social medias, really, but we're mostly on Instagram and Twitter at CertifiedNoonas, all one word. And if you need to email us, we're at CertifiedNoonas@gmail.com. Anyway, we hope you have a great week and stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.